millions of lives have been changed. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Walsh, the host of Truth to Power, and welcome back after a weird weekend, right? Like Sunday, it was dang near 70 degrees. All the fake Irish was out there. They had the Irish parade. And then yesterday, I woke up yesterday. I do a show called Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison. 10 to 12, been doing it for a while, only on Sundays. You know, I wake up, I do my thing, I send my text messages, hey, what y'all want to talk about today? Let me know, here's my thoughts. And then I look out the window, you know, I go and I do my thing, and I look out the window, I said, what in the hell? It's snowing? Yes. The snow yesterday in Milwaukee, let me tell you, Milwaukee County did the worst job of plowing the snow early yesterday, because I was on the road around 9-something. And I mean, they did a terrible job plowing the snow when it came to the freeway. I had people slipping and sliding next to me. Literally, a woman driving the Mercedes-Benz, I saw her car start drifting. I was like, oh, hell. It was crazy. They ended up having it cleaned up by 12, but boy, oh boy, it was a complete mess out there early on, as some areas got up to 5+ inches of snow yesterday. I was not expecting that. They said it was going to snow, but they were not expecting that amount of snow. But thank y'all again for tuning in to Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Shout out to my boy DJ Brother Z, holding it down on the ones and twos. Welcome back, DJ Brother Z. I missed you. You guys can chime in on the conversation by texting in at 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talk to Text line. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that like button as well on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube, so you never miss any of your favorite 1017 The Truth shows. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those who celebrate. I am not going to claim any Irish blood in me because I have no idea. I'm sure I may have some type of something in me, but I don't know if it's that. I know for sure I'm black and I'm Native American. Cherokee. Shout out to my Cherokee.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Said you have something in you.
Oh, no, I mean, grow up, guys. Grow up. I'm talking about my DNA. Grow up. Never that. But as always, when we kick off, coming off on Monday, we always got to hit y'all with the weekend recap, and I got some stories that I got to share with y'all today.
Truth Nation, we know you have a busy life and the weekend went by too fast. If you missed any of the headline stories, no worries. We got you covered on the top stories you may have missed. Tap in for the weekend recap on Truth to Power. Kyle, tell Truth Nation the biggest headlines they need to know.
Truth Nation, there was a lot of different headlines that you had to know from this weekend. There was a lot of things going on, and we're going to talk about one of the biggest stories today because we got to figure out what's going on in our community. But this top story, the first story I want to talk about today, is the fact that Milwaukee Police Department is corrupt? Question mark. Listen, police officer is dirty and corrupt at MPD. Over the weekend or on Friday, a former officer from the Milwaukee Police Department is facing charges after he offered to help gang members get guns, license plates for stolen cars, and also getting addresses for rival gang members. Yes, this is absolutely right. Jawan Madlock is accused of transferring ammunition to a felon, obstruction, lying to federal agents, and possessing a machine gun after FBI agents found a gun with a switch at his residence. This is, according to a federal complaint, this is a Milwaukee police officer. Yes, this is a police officer who did this. Now, this is crazy. This is like movie type stuff. This man was basically helping one gang, and I believe it was the Burleigh Zoo family, helping them and whatever stuff goes on. Listen, I don't know nothing about gangs. I don't do the gang stuff whatsoever. I just want people to be safe. I want people to be happy. But knowing that there was a police officer inside of MPD who was actively working to create chaos in our streets is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. This individual is under arrest and locked up for what happened or what he was part of. And he got caught up because in a string of text messages, Madlock provided several potential addresses of rival gang members, including one that had just been updated on a person's driver's license at least a month earlier. That was found after an investigation into one of the Burleigh Zoo gang member families in Greenfield, found a phone and searched the phone and found the conversation between Madlock, who is a former MPD officer, and the individual. So for me overall, this is a bad look for MPD. A really bad look for MPD, especially after about 2 weeks ago. The Brady list has been out there for a while about officers who have constant complaints on them. This officer was actually on the Brady list, just like the officer who I talked about last week who was filming young girls inside of Cristo Rey Jesuit High School in Milwaukee was also on the Brady list. And at a certain point, we as citizens using the Brady list, yeah, that's something we should do. But how about these police departments actually utilize the Brady list and start firing some of these dirty cops? Because it seems to me that there's a trend of cops who have a history of having complaints filed on them or doing things that are negligent or doing things against what they're supposed to be doing on their job, and then also having a track record of going on to do even more egregious things as well. And so at some point, these police departments are actually going to have to take what they do seriously and stop hiring people that are murderers, such as you got police officers who kill people. You got police officers who are dirty cops. At some point, we're actually going to start using this Brady list and start actually having integrity with hiring and building trust within the community, because currently right now there is zero trust that the community has with the police department because of stories like this that we hear. And overall for law enforcement, there needs to be a higher standard. There just needs to be a higher standard. I just feel like to be able to be a police officer, you got to go through the academy, and then during the time within like the first 5 years here at MPD, you have to get 60 credits towards an associate's degree. But at a certain point, we're going to have to hire the standards of what it means to be a police officer here locally, but also across this country, because way too often we have too many corrupt officers who are on the streets, roaming the streets, who are supposed to be serving and protecting us. But instead, like again, you see a situation last week where we talked about the gentleman who was a former, I believe it was a Greendale or Greenfield police officer who worked at Cristo Rey Jesuit High School as a security officer and set up a camera in the girls' locker room, was filming the girls changing in the girls' locker room. Former police officer that was on the Brady list somehow continued to get jobs. Now you have this individual, Mr. Madlock, who's a former police officer with MPD now, who was aiding gang-related activity here in the city of Milwaukee. Providing guns, right? Providing stolen license plates for stolen cars. He was assisting a street gang. He was assisting chaos. He was assisting criminal activity here in our community. And we cannot have that here in Milwaukee. And also, they need to implement a way to make sure that there's zero tolerance. Zero tolerance for all law enforcement officers. Zero tolerance for something like this. Zero tolerance for when you have an abuse of power. Also, zero tolerance if your name is found on a list where it comes to racist list. Like there was a list that was that there was police officers found on the list a couple years ago. That was in 2022. And it was called for the Oath Seekers. There were 1,100 officers who had previously served in law enforcement with ties to the Oath Keepers. 1,100 officers who had previously, been part of the police force, who were part of the Oath Keepers. And on top of that, there was 373 active police officers who were part of a hateful racist group that is basically a white supremacist group. And so there just needs to be higher standards for these police officers, because I'm telling you this right now, stuff like this cannot happen. We have to get better people serving the community. Again, not all police officers are bad, but in this situation, if there's one police officer that's bad, and if anybody knew about it, they should be fired too. There should be a zero tolerance rule when it comes to policing. One striking you out, because being a police officer is a privilege. You have the privilege to be able to serve and protect the community. This is not anything that is owed to you. And if anybody wants to argue that, I'm here to argue. 833-212-1017. We'll quickly take a call. Marlon, you have a thought on the conversation right here, talking about the police officer that was a dirty cop that was aiding a gang here in Milwaukee?
You know what? The crazy thing about it is that's just a little tip of the iceberg. You got police aiding the criminal organization in Milwaukee. You dig? Running around with Proud Boys on the force. You understand?
Yep.
Right now, living in Milwaukee, they got trap houses. Police got dope houses in Milwaukee. Police pimping in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we do know that.
So it's all about strategically taking things down like it's in progress right now. Nothing happens over time. It takes years to investigate things, to comprise evidence, to get things all together. And everything's come crumbling down. The house of cards will burn. But the thing is, no police takes the oath and has that in their heart. It is grown in them. Racism is grown in a person. Everybody is grown up innocent. Everything that we encounter taints us and turns us against things and makes us one way. So you have people in power in Milwaukee that's Proud Boys. You got people in Milwaukee that's pimping, and the real pimps wear suits. Black man is just the face of it.
Ain't that the truth? There was actually it was actually a police officer that was arrested within the last couple months here who was part of prostitution here in the city of Milwaukee. So you're absolutely right, Marlon. I appreciate your call and your thoughts here on the conversation. 833-212-1017. We're going to get back into our headlines, but we have a couple calls. And like, again, Truth Nation, this is y'all platform, right? I'm just here to talk, but it's here for you all to definitely chime in on the conversation. You can call in if you want to get in on the conversation, or text in at 833-212-1017 as we're having a conversation quickly about the police officer here in Milwaukee that was corrupt and was aiding gang-related activity, causing chaos here in the streets of Milwaukee. Tyrone, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Good morning. Good cracking. Good afternoon, rather.
What's cracking, lacking, Tyrone?
Cracking. What's cracking, baby? All right. Leprechaun Monday to you. St. Patrick's green beer and everything else. All right, DJ Brother Z, Milwaukee. I agree with you, Kyle, very quickly. How do you clean it up when your common council is crooked? You're not really getting the type of leadership you need from your sheriff, she's black, and then your mayor, your county executive. I mean, these people are, we got to get it cleaned up, but where do we start, I mean, we vote for these people, and then they get in there, they get the money, they get the seat and position, and still, we still sit here with this, like, Elizabeth Brown says, the Queen, we're paying them to fail for it. They're failing. And, we got to start somewhere. But, we got to get it cleaned up. I agree with you. So, I don't know. I'm not going to be too long with it here. But, I agree with you. We got to get it cleaned up. God bless you. Have a great day and a great week. Go Bucks, go Badgers, go Marquette.
All right.
Enjoy the games. We'll talk, baby. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too, Tyrone. I mean, Tyrone makes a great point is where do we turn to? Where do we go to? I mean, it is very, very disappointing. But I just had to bring that story because it happened Friday. I didn't have the time to talk about it Friday, but I wanted to bring it to the forefront because it is so disappointing because you hear so many situations about police excessive use of force, police using their position of power to basically hurt the citizens, hurt Milwaukee. So definitely upset about that. But on to the next story. The next story is MPS is back in the news, and more of MPS, the city of Milwaukee, MPD, as we've been talking about the fact that there should be officers inside of schools, resource officers are supposed to be back in the schools. There's a hearing today, 2:30, where MPS in the city of Milwaukee are going to be back in court in front of Judge Borowski, who I think is a very anti-black individual, but that's my personal belief. He's a jerk, and I believe he's anti-black, but that's neither here nor there. But currently right now, MPS and the city of Milwaukee, there's a stay for the fine, but currently they're supposed to have police in the schools over a month ago, and they're supposed to be getting fined $1,000 a day for every day they did not have police in the schools. Judge Borowski did put a stay on that, so they are not being punished for that currently now, but they do have a court date today inside of Borowski's court to talk about the progress that they have made. If they have not made sufficient progress towards getting these resource officers inside of the schools, he probably will put back on that $1,000 a day. Now, this all stems from, which is crazy, right? We're talking about police officers inside of schools, and this all stems from the shared revenue deal that was passed over almost 2 years ago, right? How did that get in there? Who knows? But this is from a shared revenue deal where, to me, the city tried to throw MPS under the bus and was going to make MPS fund the majority of getting officers back into school. MPS said, we didn't budget for this. We want to go back to the old model where it's 50-50. And the city kind of balked at that. Judge Borowski said, nope, it needs to be 50-50. And so they're trying to figure out how they're going to get these officers into school and how they're going to pay for it. If they do not get it figured out, Borowski will again find the city of Milwaukee liable for contempt of court and failing to get officers in place by his earlier deadline. They had a deadline on March 15th to get the officers in school. That's why they have a court case today. Again, if they do not comply with this after today, there could be a $1,000 fine per day. Now, here are the things that they need to show in court today to avoid any additional penalty. The city must show the judge that they have either taken steps to implement a memorandum of understanding with MPS outlining the terms of the school resource officer program. They must also have school resource officers that are either registered for or have completed training through the National Association of School Resource Officers, and it can provide a list of names of 25 school resource officers who are MPD officers in the schools that these officers will be put in that they will work at. That must be presented to the judge. So MPS in the city of Milwaukee must present all of this today to Judge Borowski, and if they do not present this today to Judge Borowski, there could be a $1,000 fine. Listen, at this point, with everything that's going on in our city, we just got to figure out how to get these officers into school. I don't think it's fair that MPS is the focal point of where they believe they need to have officers, but there are calls, a lot of calls that happen inside of these high schools when it comes to police having to come to the school. So I do understand there's a potential need for it, but when you look overall at the most dangerous schools across this community, they don't look like us. I'll just leave it at that. And lastly, the last story that I do want to touch on really quickly is, did y'all hear the story about this gentleman from Wisconsin? There was a guy from Wisconsin who was a Trump voter, right? He voted for Donald Trump, and now he's finding out, you F around and find out, and he's finding out, just in this case, that his wife is now being deported, or his wife was deported. So there was a story that's making national news as a gentleman named Bradley Bartell, who voted for Trump, and now ICE has arrested his wife, Camelia Munoz. Camelia Munoz and Bradley are engaged or were married recently, and she is not a citizen of the United States. They went to Puerto Rico, had a good vacation, came back from Puerto Rico, and were coming through customs, and somebody must have looked at her information, looked at her, brought her to the side, and now his wife was detained by ICE. Yes, he said this. This is what he said. After going and voting for Trump, this individual, Bradley Bartell, when interviewed, said, he said, I knew they were cracking down, but I didn't think they'd go after my wife. This is the problem with these idiots. These fools hear about the crackdowns, right? Trump said he was going to do this. He said he was going to get rid of illegal immigrants. What in the hell made you think that your wife, who was an illegal immigrant, will be above the law? This is the problem with white privilege. White privilege is the thought that just because I'm white, they ain't going to come after me. No, brother. They came after you, and they got you. And they got your wife. And now your wife is in some detention center where God knows where. This is what happens. You mess around, you find out. And he found out today. And you know what? I have zero remorse for anybody that voted for Donald Trump and is married to an illegal immigrant and their family is being torn apart. I have zero remorse for you. I could give two damns about it. I'm telling y'all this right now. I don't want to hear none of them crocodile tears at all. But those are the top three stories for today. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Now, Truth Nation, when we come back, we got to have a conversation because I'm going to tell you this right now. Zach, you turn the music down at this point because I was upset this weekend because, again, I talked about how Sunday morning I do my routine. I get ready to come in to work to do Sunday Karma with Craig Carmenson, 10 a.m. to 12 on ESPN Wisconsin. And I get a text message while I'm at work. And it was a news article and a story about something that occurred yesterday morning. Or I should say, not yesterday, like early Saturday morning. And it was another story about the fact that a black life was lost. And I am getting sick and tired of every time I open up my phone on Friday or Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, there is death, shooting after shooting, people just having reckless abandon. It's just crazy to me. And I'm sick and tired of it, and I think I got to my boiling point. Truth Nation, we got to talk about this because we have to have a community conversation, and we got to get people riled up because enough is enough. So on the other side, we're going to talk about a tragic shooting death that occurred at 107 in Milwaukee, in the area I grew up by. That's maybe why it stings me a little bit more that as a kid I rode bikes by this area. I constantly, even to this day, I drive past that area. So when something hits so close to home, you get extremely fed up. Whether it's on 76 in Good Hope or off 107th right off of Good Hope, down the street closer to Bradley Road, Brown Deer Road, I should say. I'm sick and tired of this garbage, and I'm going to tell you why on the other side.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Join the livest talk and text fan base in the country.
I love listening to The Truth. I just love The Truth. It's the best station out here right now, you know, so I'm down with The Truth.
You're the best thing on the radio, man. I don't agree with you all the time, but today I really did. The Girl Scout thing really, that gets to me.
I'm sipping on y'all, man. I appreciate all the wonderful things that you're doing. Congratulations on your new hours.
Keep texting, keep calling, keep being you, Truth Nation. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
What if you could ask a question that leads to cleaner water? Discover aspects of the far reaches of space, or journey deep into data to improve healthcare. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee ask questions, find answers, and add to our understanding every day. Progress starts with the question. It starts at UWM, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing Coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing Coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe Coaches are here to help.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It's a whole bunch of dubs. We ain't cheetah. I'ma make it back and probably spend it all on you. Counting from the back, so don't nobody talk.
Welcome back into Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Walsh, your host here of Truth to Power, and we are live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Market Hall, at the 3rd Street Market Hall at the Avenue here. Make sure you text and call in at 833-212-1017. Make sure you watch and stream us live by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. That's 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Now, Truth Nation, I said before the break, seeing fatal shootings and seeing shootings in the community is something that is growing old. It's something that I'm sick of hearing about. But over the weekend, a Milwaukee mother was shot and killed on early Sunday morning around 107th and Granville. And not only did she get shot, but also her sister was shot and wounded as well. Rushed to the hospital. And to me, I know I had the legendary Homer Blow on 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about a shooting that happened, and then we were also talking about, there's a bar in downtown Milwaukee that mostly has black patrons. And at this bar in downtown Milwaukee, it is the only bar that you have to be 25 and up, right, on this street. And we talked about how it's unfair that the only black-owned bar on that street has to have a 21 and up rule, but sometimes we do it to ourselves. And so I want y'all to hear this news story about a tragic death that occurred here in Milwaukee and a shooting that occurred here in Milwaukee, because I'm just sick and tired of having these conversations.
Well, 4 double shootings in Milwaukee this weekend, 2 of them early this morning. Milwaukee police say a 40-year-old and 35-year-old were wounded near 76 in Silver Spring, and a 33-year-old woman was killed in a double shooting near 107th and Granville. We have confirmed through friends and loved ones the victim is Bernicia Butcher. Her Facebook page says she was a mother of 4. A 30-year-old was shot at the same time at that scene, survived. Police have not made any arrests this weekend. We turn to another double shooting from this weekend, this one happening on Saturday, all within an hour of each other. A 16 and 19-year-old wounded near 44th, and 23 and 32-year-old were shot near Fond du Lac and Baldwin. All 4 of those victims did survive.
So we talk about why do we get treated a certain way, right? Like that's what we talk about. And as you saw in that report, you had the 107th and Granville shooting that happened. You had a 76th and Thurston shooting that happened where a 40-year-old and a 35-year-old were shot. You had a 3rd and Vienna shooting where a 35-year-old was shot. You had Holton and Center where a 44-year-old was shot. You had 65th and Congress where a 24-year-old was shot. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? 2 people dead, 5 people injured over a weekend. And what makes me so sick, right, is that in Milwaukee to go out to the clubs, that's supposed to be a time where you're supposed to be able to have fun, right? Like, that's what nightlife is for. Nightlife is for you to be able to relax, to chill, have a good time, let loose, because life is not easy. Life can be stressful. Going to work day to day can be stressful. Taking care of kids can be stressful. Life can be stressful. So the whole purpose of having bars, having clubs, having lounges, is to be able to have a space where you can release, a space where you can dance, a space where you can congregate, a space where you can hang out with family, friends, a space where you can just enjoy yourself. But far too often what we are seeing here in Milwaukee is that these spaces that are meant for people to relax and let loose, you got to be tense and uptight because you don't know what in the hell is going to happen when bullets start flying. And again, why I'm so upset about this is because there have been 3 weekends in March this year, just 3. And we can go back to the first weekend of March on March 2nd where in Cream City Social there was a shooting outside of Cream City Social, not inside, but outside of the vicinity of it, where that's a place where people go to it, to hang out, to go get something to eat, to club, to kick it. But outside, something broke out and people got shot. Fast forward to March 8th and 9th, around that time. And there was 3 shot at Cream City Social. And then at Vibe Night Lounge, March 8th, March 9th, around that time, 3 more people injured because of gunfire. Fast forward to March 14th, 15th, 16th. 2 people injured, 1 person dead. At what point are we going to say enough is enough, Truth Nation? Every weekend in March, we have had shootings at clubs. Like, what is going on? How are we so senseless? How do we not care about one another? This is what kills me, is that we get all mad, we get all up in arms about what the police do to us. And trust me, it is justifiable for us to be upset about the way that we are policed in our community, how we are over-policed in our community. You should be mad about that. But we got to have the exact same energy, the exact same anger, the exact same desire to want to march in the streets, be upset, is when we see people getting shot every single weekend. When we see people going to bars, and imagine going to a bar. I just want y'all to know this is unreal. Like, this trauma, this is not normal, right? This is not normal human behavior. This is not usual for you to go to a club inside of Milwaukee and have to be thinking about, I hope I don't get popped today. This ain't normal. And the fact that we had weekend after weekend after weekend, 3 weekends in a row in March, where a club was getting shot up, and now we have the death of a mother, we have the death of an entrepreneur. Now, we don't know the circumstances and situation behind the shooting. No idea. But at the end of the day, guns should not be something that we're utilizing to shoot and kill people. It's like we are taking other black people's lives. We sat up there in 2020 and we yelled and screamed to the mountaintop talking about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. We marched in the streets. We had people behind us talking about Black Lives Matter. But then when people turn on the TV year after year, day after day, week after week, they see black lives getting murdered and shot at by other black people. And again, I don't want to hear the excuse, well, white people also have white on white. To hell with I'm not worried about them. Because inside their communities, they do not have a crisis like we have in our community. We are at a crisis. As somebody said on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube, go into YouTube, you can chime in on the conversation. As somebody said inside of there, it's not even the summer yet. This is going to be a rough summer based off what we have seen. I literally just went through multiple shootings. 107th in Granville, 2 people shot, 1 person pronounced dead. 76 in Thurston, 2 people shot. 3rd in Vienna, 1 person shot. Holton and Center, 1 person is shot. 65th in Congress, 1 person. This is one damn weekend. This is 3 days. Ain't no way in the world we got this much hate in the world where people are getting shot and killed, where people are getting shot at. This much anger. And for me, I just had to get it off my chest, but also I want to have a conversation about solutions, because maybe I'm just so upset about this, and so that's why I'm fired up and I just want us to do something. But for me, I think it's time that we find real solutions, because to hell with us feeling like we in a prison. I need police patrolling nonstop. I'm ready to call in the damn National Guard to clean this city up, because ain't no way in the world we should not feel safe going to a club. No way in the world we should not feel safe walking on the streets. It is a shame that when I go to other countries, Cuba, communist country, right? Jamaica, a place that has crime, different things going on there. Mexico, Europe, that we go to these other countries and we as black people should feel more safe and free to move around without the threat of being shot. I'm telling y'all this right now. This is not normal behavior. Not valuing another person's life is not normal behavior. Grabbing a gun and thinking you have the power to pull a trigger to take somebody else's life is not normal behavior. You not being able to handle yourself emotionally where you get so mad about somebody you feel disrespecting you that you want to show them by bringing out a gun? What happened to using these? And let me tell you, I ain't a fighter. I fight now, but I ain't no fighter. I ain't going to sit here and act like I'm Tyson. I can't get beat up. But I'd rather somebody have the guts and the balls to use their fist to fight somebody when they upset than to use a gun to try to murder somebody. It's a coward thing to do. Cowardly. You so damn soft that you got to use a gun to murder somebody because you scared to use your hands. You scared to get your ass whooped. Who cares? Now somebody going to be behind bars, but more importantly, now somebody's lost a mother. Somebody's lost a sister. Somebody's lost a cousin. Somebody lost a daughter. Somebody's lost an auntie. Somebody's lost a friend. And more importantly, to all that on top of that, we've lost a young black life. But we swear Black Lives Matter. 833-212-1017. We need to have a conversation about this because I'm telling y'all this. I want to find solutions, right? Are you at the point where you're ready to go drastic, right? All right, what are we going to do to address the gun violence that we have in our communities? Because it is only March, and every single weekend in March, something has happened. There's another weekend in March where something could happen this weekend and the following weekend. This is not okay. This is not normal, and we need to be up in arms about this, and it must change. 833-212-1017. I see your calls. I see your texts. We'll definitely get to that. Make sure you watch and stream on YouTube because I want solutions. Like, I really do. I want to know what y'all want to do because I say to the hell with us feeling like we are being tracked by the government. If the federal government got to come in here, if the National Guard got to come in here and roam our streets to ensure that our people are safe, that we can go to the club and live, then hell, let's make it happen. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walls on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, you know, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. Mm-hmm. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive on collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44%, that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snibe. The Milwaukee Bucks dropped a tough one on Sunday night, falling to OKC by a final score of 121-105. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers discussing his team not playing up to the best team from the West.
I think that was the difference. And you can feel it, you can see it. I thought the one guy with us was Giannis. I thought he had that intention. He felt that. No one else, I don't think anyone else did. I thought that was the difference in the game.
Next up for the Bucks is a 10-day road trip out west. They'll start with Golden State on Tuesday night. Over to college hoops, where the Wisconsin Badgers fell to Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. The Badgers did, however, secure the 3 seed in the bracket. They'll face off with 14-seeded Montana on Thursday to begin the tournament. And Marquette awarded the 7 seed. They'll face off against New Mexico on Friday in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Welcome back into Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. And we're having a conversation about the recent uptick here. I can't say uptick, but just the recent amount of gunplay happening at bars and people getting shot at bars. And recently this past weekend, a Milwaukee mother of 4 is dead after a shooting on Sunday, March 16th. 33-year-old Bernicia Butcher was shot around 1:40 a.m. on Sunday morning near 107th and Granville. Family members say it happened outside of Bar 107 Sports Bar and Grill. Yes, loved ones are now losing a daughter. And children are losing their mother. It is very, very extremely sad, and I'm asking y'all for solutions. How can we clean this up? I'm ready to bring in the National Guard because at this point, we need to clean up our streets. It's not right. I'd rather have something closer to martial law than have people out here making it so people can't be safe. 833-212-1017. Al from Sherman Park, you're on Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, Kyle. We've been going this direction a long time because I remember the riots in Sherman Park, and I remember Black Lives Matter, and I remember asking an acquaintance what he thought we were doing when he was training the youth to march in Black Lives Matter marches, and to me, I thought he's basically making excuses for the young people to show they can outnumber us and do anything they want to. That's where we are. When they were talking about defund the police, I was like, I'm in the back of my mind, there's a slight concern about the police shooting me accidentally, but I'm more concerned about walking out my door and getting shot by somebody who looks like me. When I look back, I had done a statistic to pull up the shootings in a 1 mile radius of my house, and this was probably 3 years ago. There were 52 shootings, so that was like one shooting.
That's using ShotSpotter, Al?
Probably ShotSpotter and some other FBI statistics. But there's a site, I forget where it is. I think you could go through slate.com and find it where you can figure out the shootings around your zip code. But, this excuse making has got to stop. We need some law and order. We need some common sense. And these white liberals who keep letting people off for first offense and dropping gun charges, no, stop doing that.
No, I
Give them
agree.
the consequences. Lock them up.
No,
I don't care if you're white, you're black, you're Mexican. I don't want you around me if you already thought to take a gun out the house and shoot at somebody.
No, I 100% agree, Al. Thank you so much, Al, from Sherman Park. I appreciate your thoughts and comments. I think you're spot on, 100% spot on. 833-212-1017. That's the Truth Talking text line. I see y'all inside the chat. I see y'all text as well. I love everything that's happening. I'm going to get to all this. Ron from the South Side, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, Kyle, thanks for taking my call, man. Listen, I got a question. Yo, Milwaukee, y'all mad yet? Are y'all upset yet? Y'all pissed off yet? Oh, y'all got some more killing to do, huh? We ain't even at the summertime right now. You're looking at the police, you're looking at the mayor, and all you got to do is look right down the street. You know something. Somebody knows something. Somebody seen something. This woman did not have to lose her life. A mother of 4, and she was working in daycare. Her cousin said that she was not problematic, and her sister wasn't either. So somebody was just out for being a demon last night, being a total demon. I saw it on YouTube, and I got pissed off right away. And I thought about what we talked about. We can't go nowhere without somebody doing something stupid like this. And man, I got no more words, bro. I got no more words.
No, I appreciate you, Ron. Listen, I'm outraged too. We all should be outraged about this because this is not normal behavior. I'm telling y'all this right now. This is not normal. What we think is normal is not. This is not normal human behavior. This is trauma that we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis here in Milwaukee. This doesn't happen everywhere. I just want y'all to understand this, Truth Nation. The city of Milwaukee, there are very few places that deal with the type of trauma that we have to deal with. There are thousands of cities across this country. Milwaukee is one of the very few that have to deal with this and how this impacts family. And on top of that, them kids, I don't know all the kids, but I know their father passed away for some of them kids too. So now some of them kids don't have a mom or a dad. And somebody took that from them. At least their mother. I don't know the situation with the father, but 833-212-1017. Winky Blue, you're on award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, good afternoon, man. I appreciate you for taking my call. You know, I don't know what the circumstances was. Was she just an innocent bystander in the shooting, or was she targeted to be shot?
Yeah, that information has not come out, but from what the information that was told is that I believe she was in a car. She got shot. I'm not 100% sure, but what I do know is that she and her sister were both shot. And I think I heard
Listen, brother,
her in the
let
car
me say
as well.
this to you. Now that is a tad extreme when you talk about bringing in the National Guard. And the first thing we're going to say is Donald Trump and the Republicans come in here and they put martial law on them. Yeah, that's a tad extreme. But I want to tell you something. When this concealed carry came about, Kyle, it made good people turn bad. You understand me?
Explain that.
Good people normally would just, there was a reason, there's a form of reasoning. But once you're allowed to carry, then you got the big muscles. So it turned, the concealed carry has turned good people bad. So is it any good people, man? Because now normally a person would say, oh man, I ain't studying dude, I ain't finna fool with him. Now you're going to challenge that might just be a verbal threat or just verbal something or a fist fight. You're going to challenge that now with a gun. You know, it has turned good people, normally good people that would be normally good, bad. And this is across the board, white and black. Mm-hmm. But you're right, it's not happening in a lot of other areas. One reason is because they're kind of gun friendly. You know, and we treat guns like a firework, you know, like the firework run, here go pow, pow. You know, so the carrying concealed, brother, has turned good people bad. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Thank you, Winky Blue. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. 833-212-1017. Gary, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts about this tragic situation that happened and just overall the violence that happens in our city? Going once. Gary, you there? All right. No, Gary, we'll go to the caller. Caller, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Well, I have to say that I agree with Winky, and that's a rarity. When you have a gun on your person, you feel different, and it dumbs your decision-making down, and I believe that, as you spoke about some other topics, at this point is intentional in certain spaces. It's intended that, you know, people who should not have guns have access to them. The Second Amendment has been
misused because when it was created to start the militias that began this experiment, which is America, so that people could fight against the British. And at the time, the weapons were far different. They were muskets that you had to reload every time you shot them. And now you got people walking around
boom, boom. Yeah.
With military weapons, and I think all of those things are a part of this. And it is, as Meech said, not race specific, because we have people committing genocides all over the world, and human beings in general need to learn how to become humane. And at some point in history, maybe guns will not be utilized to solve problems, or maybe I heard the rapper KRS-One say that if we inspire our kids, they could come up with something that would make a gun obsolete.
I appreciate that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I really appreciate everybody chiming in here on the Truth Talk line. I'm going to read the text on the other side. Also going to read some of the great chats that we have in YouTube. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube as we're having a conversation about the fact that in the last 3 weekends in Milwaukee, we have seen shootings at multiple bars and clubs that we go to, that black people go to, that we frequent. So whether it's Cream City Social, where 3 people were shot around March 2nd, or whether it's Vibe Night Lounge, where we saw 3 people shot and injured around March 8th or March 9th, and now here at 107 Sports Bar and Grill, we're seeing somebody who was shot outside of there this past weekend. It's too many black bodies being dropped in the street, too many black bodies being under attack by other people that look like us. But 833-212-1017, that is the Truth Talk to text line. When we come back, we'll have more conversations on the other side. But also, I got to let y'all know, one call, that's all. This is your opportunity to be able to be entered to be our one call, that's all Gruber Cash giveaway entry. Yes, we are giving away an opportunity for people to be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller 10 right now at 833-212-1017 for your chance to be entered to win the $5,000 giveaway. We just gave away the money. We're giving away it again coming up soon. So 833-212-1017. Be caller number 10 right now for your chance to be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. And always remember, one call, that's all with Gruber Law Offices. They'll take great care of you, right? If you or a family member is ever seriously injured in an accident, make one call, that's all, and they will take care of you. What they do at Gruber Law Offices is they stand up to victims and they take the burden off your shoulders, right? They focus on the legal aspect while you as a client can focus on healing. And what I love about them, there's no fee to call, there's no fee to consult, and there's no fee to retain them as a law firm, and you never pay a single penny until they win your case. Visit them today at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. It's one call, that's all with Gruber Law Offices.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Ready to buy your first house? Move into your forever home or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Are you looking for an opportunity to better the Milwaukee community? Do you want to develop your skills for a career or job? City of Milwaukee is recruiting for its 16th cohort of AmeriCorps members. We are hiring young adults ages 18 to 25 to serve our amazing scholars in Milwaukee Public Schools. This opportunity allows you to serve your community and gain professional development, which will allow you to enter the workforce, your next educational journey, or even stay with us for a second year of service. Visit cityyear.org to connect with our local recruiters and learn how to apply by Friday, March 21st.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit tmul.org for more information.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
1, 2, 3, ho!
This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Walsh, your host here of Truth to Power. And y'all, we had a really important conversation talking about the unfortunate violence that has struck our city, especially at bars and nightclubs, where in 3 weeks in a row we have had gunfire at nightclubs, lounges, bars, places where we frequent, places that we go to let loose, have a good time. And tragically this weekend, a 33-year-old woman was shot and killed outside of 107 Sports Bar and Grill in Milwaukee, over there off 107th and Granville. But before we go, I definitely want to see those in YouTube. Shout out to those on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. A lot of great comments. Someone said in here, more in order to stop some of this violence, what are the suggestions? Somebody said more church, more jobs. How do we get people to value life? There is so much hate out there. I 100% agree. And on top of that, somebody said increased punishment. If somebody's hurt, it's hard to find a solution. And then on top of that, somebody also said, sorry to say this, but I feel like the strong father figures in the house educating their sons on being a man. It's been a while since I've heard a female went to the club and started shooting. Another person said, we need better gun control laws in Milwaukee. It's open carry, and here's the problem. That is the problem. Somebody else, Felix, said, worker in the north side, daytime, and at night as well. I work there. I've seen more police presence in the day than I see at night. Where and what are they doing? This is terrible, and I 100% agree. And then on the Truth Talk text line, we had some people who chimed in as well, and they said, listen, Stacy said, guns are not going anywhere in this country. Avoid confrontations, arguments, and be in the right setting at all times. Sounds good, Kyle, about knuckling up. They're talking about knuckling up and fighting and things like that. Somebody else totally said, Ishmael said, I totally agree. If you have to bring a gun or any type of weapon to a fight, then you are truly a coward. And then also somebody said, if someone beats your ass knuckling up, you best believe they coming back blasting. Better lay them for good, unfortunately, which is a sad reality here that we have to face. But this has been Truth to Power with Kyle Walsh on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. All I got to say is be better and do better, Milwaukee, and let's stand up for the things that we believe in. Let's stop this endless violence. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. This is Kyle Walsh from Truth to Power. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us at the Truth Community Awards. Thank you to community advocates and the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center for their support